Guys and girls, we're here this morning talking about careers and getting into real estate, and no better person to start this conversation and career with Michael Burgio. Good morning, legend.
Morning, Mark. Yes, very excited to sort of
Unpack it.
unpack it. There's lots of people always wanting to know how you get into real estate, what to expect, and everyone always looks at like they want to get into real estate and they think I want to get the nice car, earn the top money straight away, and they don't really understand where a lot of the top agents and successful agents where everyone started. Like I know myself, I started at reception, making coffees, cleaning the tables for meetings at the front of the office. That's where I started. And whenever people hear that, like, what? That's where you started? It's like, yes, that's where I started. And I think I would have been 34, yeah, early 20s. So successfully left university.
You didn't do uni.
No, that's why I said instead of dropping out, successfully left. See, great.
What did you go to study?
Economic business, a bachelor's of business and economics and accounting. Bachelor of business, ACU. So nothing fancy, but hated the travel. And I looked at university, going, what jobs will this give me? And everything was in the city. I did a lot of working at Domino's for 10 years, managing Manly Vale DY stores. And I learned from an early age managing staff. I really didn't like the idea of paid per hour, where you had an employee who worked really hard that hour, still got paid back then $6.76, or you had an employee who didn't work at all, still got paid the same. So I think from that ingrained in myself, I wanted to get into a sales role where the harder you work, the more you get paid. And I think property, I was always loved property, Italian background, property building. I even at one stage wanted to be a builder, but these hands couldn't do that. So it was a short period of time I thought that. And then got into real estate.
What real estate?
It was one of the avenues where I thought like highest ticket price items and you could work locally. I really loved the idea of working on the northern beaches. That was a big part of leaving university was I didn't want to be in the city. I love the idea of walking down the street, knowing the coffee shop owners, knowing the gym owner. I love that sort of local environment. So real estate naturally sort of came to me there. And our first bosses were the same. Kevin Stacey, Stacey Real Estate Professional Stacey.
Yeah.
So quite a small world. But I worked there because I personally didn't value at the time, I didn't value all my Domino's experience. I thought, fast food, Domino's, what has that taught me? Teaches you a lot. So when I was looking at jobs, everyone wanted 2 years experience and they wanted like a resume. And I was like, I've just worked at Domino's for 10 years type of thing. Kevin Stacey didn't request a resume on the form. I remember his phone call. I call him saying, I'm just looking, I saw the ad in the paper or something along those lines. And he goes to me, tell me in 30 seconds why I shouldn't hang up on you now. And I was like, oh. And I was like, because I'm looking for a career in real estate. He's like, yes, because you didn't say job, I will meet with you because real estate's a career. It's not just something 9 till 5, as we've just discussed. So that for 6 months, but I also knew that was a sort of a one-man band. For myself, I wanted to see if this is something I wanted to do before you do your real estate license, because back then, or even now, it's quite extensive. So I got the taste of it, loved it, didn't sell any properties, didn't lease, was door knocking, renting properties, or lease properties. Then had a friend at Novak, and at the time, they weren't really looking for any sales agents or anything along those lines, but I was like, I'll start anywhere at the front. And historically, you had all beautiful women. So here I was, probably 130, 120 kilos at the time. New hot girl at reception.
So you came in hot, you came in heavy.
Hot and heavy, yes. But mindset was to be the best. So it didn't matter that I was making coffees. I learned the coffee art, learned how to do love hearts in the coffee, yin yangs. Some of my best clients to this day, I met at reception. Like, think of Mr. Spilurcio, Bruno, like the relationship I had with Bruno, and that was from giving coffees, making Slurpees at the time, and that all stemmed from being at reception, and then he had a great idea to expand commercial.
Because we didn't do commercial that time. So with I guess what were the first jobs that you were doing after the coffee and after the meeting people? What was the first sort of real estate task that you sort of latched onto?
A lot of it was leasing, commercial leasing, and the property management. There was a small, they rolled it, I think it was about just a small amount that had carried over. So doing the management helped me get in contact with people who own commercial property, talk to them, introduce, um, and then also see if they had properties for lease. So I was looking for properties that the main focus was looking to find profit. I was like, well, just started, no experience, baby face, didn't even put my face on any marketing, which anyone these days would be like, what? Your face is everywhere.
Chill out.
So yeah, now I got the beard, I can do it. But leasing looked like a lower, like a lot of leasing would be open listings. So owners would give you a shot basically. And that's all I wanted. I'll outwork anyone. So I was looking for empty properties. The newspaper was a big part of it. Remember I had the scrapbook?
Yep.
The Manly Daily, because a lot of owners would self-market their properties. So I would cut out the newspaper, stick it in the book, and highlight, write notes, keep calling them. What Theo, my best client, not for dollar transaction, just like talking to all the time and valued client, was from there. I remember calling him. We had a shop in Brookvale for lease. So many deals came from the newspaper and owners looking to market their properties for lease. Even Bruno bought a building that the owner was marketing a $300 a week. This office got me a lot of business. $300 a week office for lease. Met the owner. Long story short, he said he would sell the property. Found someone to buy it. One of the inquiries on the for lease had a development to sell, 20 apartments, listed the 20 apartments from that. So straight off the bat, commercial leasing opened up a lot of doors, marketing wise. Went was a little bit more year two. Any,
What did your first what did your first do you remember your first commission check?
yeah, my first quarter was 56,000, and then
And
another
making but you
So-
started on reception though.
reception six. No, okay, so 6 months on reception.
Yeah. And then when did you like from as in when started the industry?
Yep.
First commission check.
So say 9 months.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was
How old were you?
would have been 21, 22.
Solid.
Yeah, so
What'd you do with the first commission check?
blew it.
Solid.
Yeah, went out partying,
And
Yeah.
what would you been
and the second commission check, and
and then so people out there getting into the industry, you'd say what?
well, this was the thing. My mindset going into it was I've left uni. I'm not doing a trade. I'm not gonna look to judge, change, or I want to do. I'm doing a 4-year apprentice. So yes, I was fortunate, made commission straight away. But my mindset was I'm not gonna be earning commission for 4 years. I'm here to learn, just like if I was doing a trade, and do everything, and not like it was. That was my mindset. 4 years, do the trade, learn as much as I could. I remember there were key takeaways where you would listen to the training courses, and they're like, you've got to be in the industry for 7 years before you get referral business. And I've sort of worked backwards, whether, okay, 7 years is selling 50 properties, and 50 properties is say $3,000 marketing on those properties. I'm just going to outwork and outmarket straight away to do that. What they're saying in 7 years, do it in 1 year. So it was crazy hours, 7 a.m. till like they'll come up on our Facebook feed memories. Like I'm showing properties at midnight, leaving the office. I think it was the day before my birthday at 11:59. I just outworked everyone, and that was the pitch being younger because commercial is quite an insulated market where there's only a few handful of agents been doing it for 50 years. You see the hand. Was a big thing. But give it time and patience.
So, message to people from what you've learned getting into the industry would be
Outmarket everybody and set like you need sort of like a longer goal. Like everyone's trying to make if they don't have success in the first 3 months or 6 months, I've got to change something. Something's wrong. I'm not at the right place. Give it a proper time at any degree, like anything in real estate, you can be earning 200, 500 grand, $1 million a year. If you were to do that as a doctor, you got to study for 15 years before you make a dollar. So treat real estate the same. You need to learn every part of it. And that was the great thing about starting reception and doing the property management side and the leasing, like learn every aspect of the business. And then, so I had a wealth of knowledge and just grind it. And I never thought like it was on somebody else to make it work. It was always on yourself. So, like you can educate yourself, you can choose your own hours, choose your own marketing. Like, yeah. So I think, yeah, give it time.
Uncle Burgio. Is this like part 1 of 3, or is this going to have to be?
Yeah, this is so, it's like, yeah, I can talk.
Stay tuned. We'll give you more of these little
Part 1 of 100.
But good if someone's considering getting into the business, you can see what needs to be done.
Yeah, and the key was I wanted to get like pick the company you want to work for and start anywhere. It's like oh, like start at the ground. Like I got a job at reception. Yes, I wanted to work in sales, but I overall wanted to work for the brand, the company. So I would have taken anything there and work. Yeah, just get in, meet the people, and grow. Don't rush. That's the biggest thing. Don't rush.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
Michael, thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.